After a month of catastrophic flooding, relief efforts in southern Sindh are being stretched by the country's unprecedented ongoing disaster. Sindh is the worst affected province, with 19 of its 23 districts affected. As the waters head southwards, hundreds and thousands of hungry and desperate families have evacuated the villages around the district of Thatta and have come to the city for shelter as flood waters swell the raging Indus River to 40 times its usual volume. The resting place for the dead has now turned into a source of refuge for the living. For the past 1 week, displaced victims from the surrounding Daro, Bela, Thatta and Sujawal have brought life to the ruins of the historic graveyard of Makli, amongst the tombs and shrines of Muslim saints. Devastated people were seen sitting out in the open with their children and cattle. The orders to evacuate Thatta threw into chaos plans by thousands of people already on the move, fleeing flooded villages and hoping that the district's biggest city could provide relief and shelter. The numbers increase every day. But some families choose to keep close to their homes and have managed to stay one step ahead of the rising waters. Iqbal's village lies submerged in the water. With his 7 children, he has set up camp overlooking what is left of his home and swims out to fetch whatever food and supplies he can recover.
We have been here for weeks, but so far no help has arrived.
Officials say that around 4.5 million people urgently need shelter, and there are serious concerns about rising malnutrition among children, with up to 20% of them in affected areas suffering from diarrhea, dysentery, cholera, and even malaria is now on the rise. The government has confirmed that almost 1,800 people are dead and 2,366 injured, but officials warn that millions are at risk from food shortages and disease. Close to 1 million people that have been displaced are dependent on aid for survival. With the flow of international aid almost at a standstill, the situation in Sindh is getting from bad to worse. In other parts of Sindh where relief efforts are underway, UNICEF is one of the several agencies that have been delivering much-needed emergency relief, which include immunization, sanitation, mobile health teams, and clean drinking water. Many communities remain cut off, and people are forced to drink contaminated water for their survival. Some travel for miles to bring back water for their families. UNICEF urges the international community to turn their commitments and pledges into funds so that the poorest of the poor and the most vulnerable, including children, are provided healthcare and nutrition.
For more information, go to unicef.org, Unite for Children.